Welcome back. We're here to talk about Saturday's Premier League match between West Ham and Bournemouth at Upton Park. Pascal, we'll start with the host. They fell to their first defeat of the season last time out against Leicester.
Yeah, very disappointing result. I know Leicester went there full of confidence after their opening day win, but so did West Ham because they went to Arsenal 1-2-0 there. So I think West Ham would have started that game as favourites being at home. But yeah, it was disappointing. He's conceding 2 goals in the first half. Great finish from Mahrez for the second one, but they were just sort of out-willed by sort of Leicester in that first half. And going 2 behind. And they get the goal back quickly after half-time. Payet, who has looked excellent in his first 2 games, he looks like a really good signing. He gets his first goal. That was a really good finish from him into the top corner as well. But and after that they have a good sort of 35 minutes still left in the game. They couldn't quite claw it back. Adrian then gets sent off. Tars the result as well. And very disappointing to not follow up that win at Arsenal because such a good way to start the season, and then to not follow it up against one of the teams expected to be at the bottom at home was very disappointing.
A bit of an anticlimax after that Arsenal result, wasn't it? And I think apart from obviously missing out on a potential 3 points, the biggest blow to come out of that game is the Adrian red card. I think it was a very harsh one. Adrian only had eyes for the ball. You can understand maybe why the keeper gave it. It was Bilic admitting afterwards it was dangerous play, but there was no intent involved. He was only going for the ball, and it was sort of a desperate lunge because he was already up for the corner. He needed to get back. He didn't see the Leicester player there, so for me it was a very harsh one. It means his appeal's been turned down now, so it means he's going to miss the next 3 games, which includes away games against Man City and Liverpool. And considering Adrian's been one of their better performers so far this season, he was very good against Arsenal, and throughout last season was very good as well. He's a key player now. It means Darren Randall's going to have to come in, the substitute keeper. I think it could be a big blow for them. It could be telling, especially against the big boys, because Adrian does make those crucial saves when you need him, which can win you points.
Certainly, I think Randolph, he was good for Birmingham last season. Came to the end of his contract and decided to give it a go in the Premier League. He was always going to play second fiddle, and it's whether he's ready for the sort of Premier League matches. He'll certainly view it. He's now knows he's got 3 games here. He's got over a month because of the international break till Adrian can return. So 3 games, and it's a real chance for him to impress. And if he can, potentially keep Adrian out of the team if he keeps going like that. But I think West Ham, they've certainly got to improve it. If they want to sort of push towards, say, sort of 7th or 8th, they're around sort of there last season, before dropping away in the second half of the season. But they've got to sort out their home form, really. That game against Leicester was the first of, their first 4 home games this season. They've got Leicester, Bournemouth, Newcastle and Norwich. All 4 of them, Bournemouth here and then Newcastle, Norwich. They're games they would probably all expect to win, and they've lost the first one of them, and they'll certainly want to put that right here against a Bournemouth side, who lost their first 2 games.
Yeah, Bournemouth last time out on Monday, they lost to Liverpool, didn't they? 2 1-0 defeats in a row. There is encouragement to be taken from both games. They were good against Liverpool for long spells, hit the post through Matt Ritchie, and tested the Liverpool defence a lot. You'd maybe say there was something lacking in the final third, which is strange because they had no problems in that area of the field in the Championship last season. But this is another step up. They need to take their chances. They didn't create enough chances really against Liverpool. Ritchie was the brightest player buzzing about, but for the possession they had and the territory they had, they didn't really test Simon Mignolet enough in the Liverpool goal. Against Aston Villa, they missed some really good chances as well, so they need to find that clinical edge if they're to survive. So far, they've played quite well, but you need to get points on the board. Playing quite well is not enough in this Premier League, as Burnley discovered last season. I got a feeling Bournemouth maybe could be going the same way as them. Entertaining to watch and get a lot of plaudits for the way they play their football, but perhaps not enough points on the board.
Certainly, they can feel aggrieved at that Liverpool result, though. The 2 big decisions in the game. The goal that Liverpool scored, it should not have been given. Coutinho's clearly gone for the ball. Boruc, does react, and then Benteke's coming in. And like Eddie Howe said in his post-match press conference, if this new rule isn't going to be implemented, that's probably one of the clearest incidences you have, because Coutinho was a good yard offside and it still wasn't given. And then Elphick's disallowed goal before that, but there was nothing wrong with that challenge. You see challenges like that every 10, 20 of those every game, and they're never given, and that was really harsh on them. But I do wonder about Howe's tactics sometimes. He signed all these big money players, and the biggest signing, Tyrone Mings, hasn't played. I think Charlie Daniels is a good enough left back as it is, but you spend $8 million on a player, and he's lauded Mings for a lot of the summer, said he can be anything he wants, and he hasn't given him a single minute yet. Gradle didn't start in the first game, did start against Liverpool, and then the substitutions he made in the Liverpool game, they were playing really well and matching one of the best teams in the league, sort of passing wise. They had plenty of the possession, they were being calm with it, but he brought on Adam Smith, I think, a backup right back, for a midfielder at the time, and then he put Ritchie over to the left, in the second half when they were searching for that goal. Ritchie had been dangerous on the right, he'd been cutting in, and that's his best position, but he puts Ritchie on the right, then puts 2 right backs down the left down the right when you're chasing a game, and you just wonder I'm sure he obviously is a fantastic manager of the job he's doing, but you do wonder with those decisions when you're 1-0 down. You're in with a chance of getting something from the game, and he just didn't. The changes didn't seem to reflect that they were trying to get a goal. It was more as if they were trying to defend a lead, which they weren't. So a bit of an odd decision.
And tactics are probably even more important on the road in the Premier League when you're trying to defend against a team, especially against West Ham with good attacking talent. Do you see them getting anything out of this one?
Yeah, I think they might get their first point here. I think Callum Wilson, he's their sort of star striker. I think he's been quite bright in the first two. He hasn't had that many chances. He had loads more chances in the Championship last year, but I think he might get the odd chance here. I'll back him to get a goal and Bournemouth to get a 2-2 draw.
I think West Ham have got the players to hurt Bournemouth. I think if they sort their home form out, if the likes of Payet are on form as well, I think they'll get a win here. I think I'm going for a 2-0 West Ham win. So I'm going for one West Ham victory and a draw. Thanks for joining us.